We didn't meet Francis French until he was about 18 years old. Growing up in Manchester, England, he says summer camp programs were not very big there, but he had heard about space camp. In fact, Francis says the space program had always been something of a fascination for him, but he had never envisioned himself actually working in or with the space program, that is, until he came to space camp. Francis says it was the best 10 days of his life. He says the lessons in teamwork, management, and thinking in real time were invaluable. He had only read about the space program before then, but was now fully immersed in it. He described the shuttle simulators as high fidelity. He says intellectually, you knew it was only a simulator, but the realism was overwhelming. For Francis, that 1 week at space camp proved to be a turning point in his life in more ways than one. He not only found his future here, he also found his future wife. Aaron Rodgers attended space camp the same week that Francis was here. Well, they stayed in touch after space camp as pen pals for a number of years before they began dating and eventually married 13 years ago. Francis decided he would share his love of science with others through his critically acclaimed books on the subject of spaceflight, plus through his work with the Museum of Science and Industry in Manchester, the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center in San Diego, the Sally Ride Science Academy, and through his current position as the Director of Education at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. He's currently working to formalize partnerships with NASA and others to provide more informal educational opportunities for students and their parents. Francis says if we can make our young people more science literate, they'll go on to do some amazing things. Ladies and gentlemen, for his love of science and space and his continuing efforts to share that enthusiasm with both young and old, please join us as we proudly add the name of our graduate, Francis French, to the Space Camp Hall of Fame.